Hello. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
You're not shaving again? You're not shaving again?
No, a couple days, I'll shave maybe once or twice a week. I shave. Yeah,
That's
I don't
good.
have to impress the girls. You do. You're a young man, a nice mustache. Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
to
the
impress the
girls.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. How was the yontif? Okay, good, nice. Huh?
Freezing in shul.
Is that so?
I wore on the second day. I got smart and I put a vest on, a
Really?
wool vest.
Wow.
But still came out, and I was welcoming the hot weather outside to warm my feet. But I made comment to some fat guys in shoes, and no, it was perfect.
I know it's terrible. I know the other day, and Yavna, for the mincha during the week of the Shabbat, somebody turned the air conditioner on. It was fine. Turned it so low, I couldn't take it. So I after Kedusha, I had to leave. I couldn't stay anymore. It just bothered me so much. I didn't want to tell anybody, leave it. They do what they want to do. I don't care what they do. I just, if I'm so comfortable that I can't sit there, I have to leave.
It must have been set at 60. No joke.
That's terrible. That really is
And
terrible.
in the main shul, I think there are like 8 air conditioners on the roof.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And they're all blowing. My brother-in-law had to move 2 seats because he was blowing on his head. Even with it, he was the whole day with the towels over his head.
Yeah, wow.
Still.
It's terrible, yeah. It's a
problem.
problem. Yeah. It's a problem, it's a problem, got to be something, they got to be some pshara.
Well, I was told that the thermostat is in an area where it can't detect how cold it is. It's in some hallway, not near a vent. So it has no idea how cold it is.
Oh.
Yeah, but they must be setting it at 60, Harold.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's in charge? Do you have any idea who's in charge?
Yeah, Mengele.
Leo? Doesn't he get cold?
I don't know.
All right.
Where'd he go? Mario disappeared there.
You had a full house there? You had a full house in Yontif, huh?
We had Eliza and Ariella were there.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, I don't know why I was cut off.
We were talking about you, Mario. Only good things.
Okay, we're on pay Aleph on the bays, 81B.
In the middle of the page.
Right. Tanya, Misha Meis, V'niach Shomeres Yovim. Reuven dies, and the wife falls to Shimon. V'niach nechasim b'mei amana. And Reuven had $100,000 in his estate. Afal pi sheksubasa ein el amana. Let's say the ksuba was only $1,000. Lo yimkor. The brother has no right to sell any of the assets because shekol nechasav achron l'ksubasa. All of the original brother's assets are meshubah to the ksuba. So the chachamim forbid to sell. And is it true that whenever the chachamim say don't sell, if he does go and sell, the sale is reversed? I'll show you not so. Tim Kor. Beishamai says that the husband, the Yovim can sell. That if she went ahead and sold, even though she's not supposed to, the sale is a good sale. So Shlachula Kamid Rav Chani Bar Papi, Shalchak Rav Yosef. Amar Abaya, Alter Rav Chani Bar Papi Kifi Talila. He's pasking without a reason. Shalchula Kamid Rav Yumi Rav Yumi Shalchak Abaya V'Omer Bar Yav Tami Achrina Shulchal. If you have another svara, send it to me. But the Mishnah you quoted doesn't make any sense. If the Chachamim say you're not allowed to sell, if you sell, it's not a good sale. And in fact, Nafak Rav Yosef Dagva Ashkach, Rav Yosef found after investigation to Tanya, Haresha Yanoy Shabachi Vumeis. One of the brothers loaned money to another brother. The brother who loaned money died. Viniach Shomeres Yavin. And there is a wife, lady in waiting. Lo yomer hoil v'shani yoresh echzakti. The Yavin cannot say, well, since I'm inheriting my brother who was the Malveh, I don't have to pay any debt. No, Motzim Yavin. He has to pay like everybody else. And that, v'kach ben karkav or chalaperos. With that amount, it will be designated for the ksuba. So you buy a piece of land and he eats peros. Or they buy a dilma to tovale avdule. Maybe it's just an eitz tova and not a halacha. Or no, tana tani moitzim v'atam to tovale avdule. If he had sold it to somebody else, he could be motzi midei lekuchos. So it's a completely meshubit. Hoder shalchu kamed Rav Manyumi Rav Nachumi Amarlu Hacham Rav Yosef Bar Manyumi Rav Nachman Zu Eino Mishnah. That is not a correct Mishnah. You can't bring proof. My timer. Because having cash is like metaltalin. There's no shibud, there's no lien on cash. Maybe Rab Meir, metaltalin mishabi l'ksuba. Rab Meir held metaltalin what was lienable. Maybe the fact that the brother owed one of the brothers money has nothing to do with the wife. But the Rab Nosani, the Tanya Rab Nosani, A owes B money, and then the Chavero, and C owes B money. A can go directly to C. So the wife can be brought into this picture. There is no Tana who has two chumas. The chum of Rav Meir that even metatal and meshubid, and this din of Rav Nosson that A equals B equals C. That's why in Kenayenu Deshamil Labayadamar Zuena Mishnah. We never understood why it was not an authoritative Mishnah. It's because we don't hold of these two chumas.
This is called Shibud Rav Nosson, right? Is that what this thing is? That he can collect from a third person.
Collect from the third person.
It
doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to. The C doesn't have to pay B back, and B pays A back. No, A can go directly to C.
Where's the makkah? Where's usually Shibud Rav Nosson? Where's that? Which gemara is that in? Shibud Rav Nosson. Is it above a comma? Is it?
It's in many places. It's in Psachim, Ksubis, Kiddushin.
Oh wow! You know that.
The Mesoras Hashas. See the little Aleph by Rab Nosson.
Oh.
And the Mesoras Hashas will tell you where it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's in Psachim, it's in Ksubis, it's in Gittin, it's in Kiddushin.
Oh, very good. Yeah, thanks.
Hahu Gavra, the Nafal Yavama b'Mosa b'Machse. A Yavama fell in another city. Boy Achvel Mitzla b'Gitimine. One of the younger brothers wanted to puzzle her to get married to the brother who was going to inherit all the assets by giving her a get. Amr Lei, so the older brother said to the younger brother, "My daitech, why don't do it? You and I can split the assets if you don't give her the get. Obviously, but the younger brother didn't want to do it because previously we learned the case where in Pumbedisa, the older brother tricked the younger brother. Okay, we'll divide right now. We won't wait till later. You can take your share now, even though the kinyan is not going to be chal until I marry her. So, Amr bar Ravashi, Aval Gav the Chiyas Rav Dimi Rav Yechon. Haomer lechaver leichu mishoch parazuv lo tieknu lechol lachar shloshim yom. Go and do Mashiach on this cow, and it won't be makna to you until after 30 days. Lachar shloshim yom kana. Afilo omedes ba'agam, even if the cow is distant from where we are, hasam biyado. There, it's in the moicher's hands to give it right now. Hachala biyado, but the brother who hasn't married the woman yet has no ability to give the assets to the younger brother because he hasn't married her. And in fact, Rav Yochanan said by the case of Meshach Para, it's not koine, which is a stira to the first Rav Yochanan. If you use the magic words knei me'achshav, be koine from now, it'll work. Boy minei me'ula. Yibem v'achar kach chilech ma. What if he did yibum and then he gave half to the younger brother? Lo asa v'lo klum. So he didn't do anything by that kinyan. Masker Rav Sheshes. Hashta yibem v'achar kach chilech lo asa v'lo klum. You were asking before about doing it before he does yibum. If it doesn't work after yibum, so chilik v'achar kach yibem boy, then why did you have an ahavamina that it would work even before yibum? So the Gemara says, Shnei, these were two separate stories. You don't learn one from the other. Doesn't make a difference. You can't, the Yavim who sold something or gives from partially of the assets of the brother who died, so it's meshubed the ksuba, so it has no halachic force. Hilchas loss of laklum. V'chachamim oimrim peros hamechubam lakarka shelo. That fruit that are still connected to the ground, they don't have to buy a piece of land and he gets peros. He gets those peros directly. All the assets are meshubet to the ksuba, even the peros hamechubarim. On Reish Lakish and Chanami, you have to fix it. Tni Shalah belongs to her, not to him. Then the Mishnah said, Kon Sarei Kishto. When the Yavim does Yibum, she's like a regular wife. Lamai Hilchasa. Now, what is that coming to teach us? He divorces her with a get, and then he can take her back like any other wife that gets divorced. So Megarsha beget Pshita. I mean, how else is it going to do Gittin? Mao the same as the Yibam Rachman Vadan Yibum Rishon Alea. Maybe Reuven was married to this woman. Reuven died. Shimon was miyabim her. Maybe now when he gives her a get, he has to give her chlitz as well. Lo tizgila beget el b'chlitza. Kamash v'lon, that it's a regular wife once he does yibum, and all you need is a get. Then the Mishnah says machzira, he can take her back. Pshita, why not? When Reuven died, and there's a mitzvah for Shimon to be miyabim eishesach, fine. The Malka mitzvah you're allowed to. But now he divorced her. Maybe there's a havim minasha take him aleb yisra eishesach. Maybe the yisra eishesach comes back, is resuscitated. Kamash v'lon, no, you can take her back without any problem. Maybe that's a good pshat. Amrakra ulakha lo leisha. Even shalocha nasas kisha. It's a full wife. But bilvad ksubas al nichse bala risha. The assets come from the initial husband's assets. My time. Isha iknu lo min hashamayim. He was given a gift, a wife from heaven. He didn't choose her. She falls because of mitzvahs yibum. So he doesn't have to designate a ksuba of his own. But that's only if there is assets by the first brother. If the first brother didn't have an asset, the Miyabim brother has to designate his assets for the ksuba. Otherwise, we have a problem. It's easy to divorce. That's one of the reasons why we have a ksuba. It makes it hard to divorce our wives. Then
Did we say that a man, if he takes back his wife, not a yivam, takes back a regular, he doesn't have to give her a ksuba the second time. But because he marries a yivam, she gets the ksuba from the first husband, and if he divorces her, he has to give her a ksuba from the second, because for his own money.
No. If there's assets from the brother who died,
Right.
that provides the ksuba for her. If there are no assets, then he has to provide assets.
So she doesn't get a ksuba when her first husband dies, even if doesn't she get a ksuba from her husband, even besides the fact that he's
not in a case of yibum, because there's immediately a zika, and then he does yibum, then she's married to the second guy.
So she'll only get one time. She'll
Only gets one time. And we also said in the Mishnah, Lo yomer lo harei ksubasach. He can't give her the $50,000 and say this is your ksuba, because all of his assets are meshubed. My v'chein. He was not the one who wrote the first ksuba. It was the brother that did. To say my assets are makne. Maybe here, when the Yavin did write a second ksuba after he took her back, maybe she would accept money on the table. Kamash Malan that no, the achrayus is on all of his assets. Girsha, ein la ksubasa. If he divorces her, she gets the ksuba. That's girsha in lo, girsha lo. Kamash Malan kid rababa. The only time she gets paid off is when he divorces her. And then when he remarries her, she's like all other women. She only gets the first ksuba. So so we already learned this. Tanina Magarish is like Ishu Machzira, Almanas Ksuba, Rishona Machzira. Now to say Ishto who I might have thought the EU Kosovo Laksuba Mine. Maybe it goes after the first ksuba. That's a regular wife. Aval Yevimto. But a Yevama that fell from the brother, the Lo EU Kosovo, he had never written a ksuba. Hecha de Garshava Adr, when he divorces or remarries, aims a ksuba Samine. Maybe he writes a new ksuba from his own nechasim. You don't have to. The original ksuba will suffice. They used to give 200 to a psula and 100 to a.
So does she have to give back her original ksuba in the case where he's machzir gerusha so?
No, it's the original ksuba.
She gets. He's megarish her.
If he takes
he gets her
back,
ksuba. She gets her ksuba. She gets paid, Messiah Zuz, whatever it is. Now he has to write her a new ksuba. Is that new money?
I guess if he remarries her quickly, right, before the payout, then it's the original ksuba. He doesn't have to write a new one. I guess if he paid it out, he'd have to write a new one. But the
So
after,
so if he divorces her twice, this is my question. If he divorces her twice, does she collect twice on 2 ksubos? Liz Taylor and Richard Burton.
I'm going to read the halacha in the Rambam. Megarish ish ishto umachzira stam almanas ksuba rishona machzir. He's machzir her on tnai that it's all one ksuba.
So, but she's already
says,
gotten the money.
So let's say v'lachein im hotzia isha shnei giten uksuba achas meosa bal ein lo ksuba achas. She only can collect once from the same husband when he married her twice.
All I'm saying is if she already collected,
So she can't collect again.
We have this svara that says the ksuba is in order to prevent him from being megarish her. And if she's already collected it and now he's machzer her.
The cases are going to be, Kenny, she goes to Besdin with 2 gets claiming 2 ksubas. Besdin is only going to say one is only going to pay 1 ksuba from one husband. Ein lo el ksuba achas. Megaris ishishlo machziro stam amanas ksuba rishona machzir. Usually, when a husband remarries her, it's al manas the original ksuba. Therefore, if the wife produces 2 gittin, Besdin's only going to force him to pay 1 ksuba. Does that make sense?
No,
Why does it make sense?
because after the
Let's
first
say he
divorce,
paid
she
her.
gets paid.
Let's say he paid her. So if he divorces her, if he remarries her, he says, you already got paid your ksuba. You're not going to get a second ksuba.
But if he marries her again, he has to give her a suba, right?
He has to give her a ksuba, yeah.
Maybe
Well,
she's already been paid and she shows up with Based-In with 2 ksuvos and they say, no, you're only getting paid on 1. Not because it's all t'nai and blah, 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 but because you already got paid on 1. So now you're getting paid on the second.
that's
Right.
what I think.
And it's the same thing by the Yavama. Girish es yavimto v'chzir kodem shapor lo ksuboso dina ke'isha acher shegirish v'chzira ve'ein lo el ksuba achas. There's only 1 ksuba paid if a woman is married to the same husband.
Okay.
So
That's-
Rishoina Yukois v'labsulam asayim l'amana mana. Now, they demanded, is Walter on the, Walter's not here. Walter was always worried, what if someone doesn't have any assets? And originally, they required that money assigned to be in cash, ready to go. A lot of people didn't have that. So therefore, hayu maskinim lo yanosim noshim. People wouldn't get married. You don't need cash. All of his assets are achroi to it. Doesn't have to give money in actuality. So that solves the problem. A young guy doesn't have any money. They wouldn't get married. But what they did is they put the cash in the father's house, who is trustworthy to watch it for her. When they would have a fight, go to your father's house and go get your ksuba. So it led to easy divorce. So he's so they put the money Masayim, in the father-in-law's house, the father of the chassan. Ashira soisis is a klassical kesek. Wealthy women would make like jugs of silver or gold. Poor women would make like a chamber pot because it was a small amount. Still, when they would get angry, they would say, go take your chamber pot or go take your golden bowl and get out of here. We didn't want that. We don't need cash because all of a person's assets are meshubit to the ksuba.
Yeah.
And that's enough that takes care of it. And if he divorces her, he's going to have to sell some of his assets. And that's a person doesn't want to sell his assets. So then he'll think twice and not divorce her. Okay,
Ernie.
tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Tomorrow, yep, let's do it 9 o'clock. Okay. 9 o'clock.
Guys, we'll see you next time around.
Johnny.
Johnny.
good-
Safe
Oh.
travels.
See you, Tova, Johnny.
Safe travel.
Thank
Thank you,
Tova.
thank you.
Sure.
Marcy Metori to all.
Marcus,
Please, if
Shit,
anybody
Tova.
comes
Marcus
to it,
Metori.
Eretz Yisrael, give me a ring. Let's get together, okay?
gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Bye. Miss
You
everyone too.
enjoyed.
I'll try to
enjoyed
join
your
live
company.
as much as I can.
Is
Otherwise,
this it, Johnny? Is this Aliyah? Is this like, bye-bye, for sale, all that kind of stuff?
He'll be back.
what do you mean?
Back to America? Are you staying in Eretz Yisrael?
I'm
Comes back.
bicontinental. I bicontinental. No, I'll be in Israel a few months, more than a few months, and then I'll probably be here for a couple of months again.
Is that like
Okay.
incontinental?
Yeah, like in continental, yeah.
Buen viaje, Johnny.
All right.
Bye.
The Siyat.
Bon voyage.
Yeah, Tova.